Hello, and welcome back to Violet Memoir. Wallace is still attending his first day of class, or classes, I guess, and we are still meeting the boys. I'm excited to fully get to know all of them. I don't know. I'm definitely, I don't know, what was the name of the otter? He's kind of cute. I'm more into like the otter and this fox. I don't know. I think the possum's trying too hard. It makes me not. Definitely makes me go like, no. Is what it is. Hey. His ice cold eyes are unwavering. Is he unwavering eyes? Or wavering eyes? Was that the name of the card? Anyway. I feel my nerves cracking. Yeah, cracking as his gaze slices into me. Against my wishes, my hand begins to fidget in front of my waist. If I don't scream nervous, I certainly do now. Is the seat free? After saying it, I stare at him expectantly, but he doesn't respond for what feels like an eternity. Eventually, he shuffles over with his which is unnecessary, as we have separate seats, that's what that says, before looking at me with a rather bored expression. Fine. That dismissive tone might hurt more than his stare. But despite everything, I can't help but feel a wave of relief. It doesn't seem like he's all that bothered by me specifically. His attitude might come off as hostile, but I don't think he's malicious. Now that I'm seated, the fox acts like I no longer exist. I'm not sure if this is better or worse. Okay. The class is mostly the same boring recycled introductory lesson that I've been getting all day. At least until the final 10 minutes where the professor, an uncomfortably thin ocelot, gets our attention for one final announcement. Now, I'm sure some of you know, but for those who don't, for this class, 50% of your grade will be determined by a group presentation. As the ocelot speaks, his excited gesture contrasts his spindly frame. It would have been endearing if he'd been talking about anything else. And an anxious feeling raises in my stomach as the thought of just doing a group project, let alone a presentation to an entire class of what looks like 200 students. Taking a glance over to the fox sitting next to me, he looks even more agitated than he did before. He's cupping his head like he has a migraine, his ears poking through the gaps between his fingers. I'm tempted to try talking to him before ultimately deciding it's not the greatest idea. My attention is dragged back to the teacher as he continues. Your groups have been randomly selected. Here are your groupings. The middle-aged spotted a feline, it starts listing off multiple groups. Even though none of the names will mean anything to you, I make sure I'm listening. A little part of me does hope I'm with the otter, though. He was really nice. The first new friendly face I've had in a while. A long time. I came here for a fresh start, and making some friends is a good way to go about it. I'm excited. It's exciting in a daunting kind of way. Eventually, I do hear it, amongst many others. Group F. Lucas Brenly, Oscar Castle, Lily Rose, what is this word? What is this name? Ashley? Wait, Ashley? Is that how that's pronounced? Oh, no. Scott, and Wallace Stewart. The cross fox next to me lets out a muffled groan through his hands in disgust, clearly not happy. His tail has bristled underneath his chair, making it appear pointy and unwelcoming. He's likely in the group with me. I would introduce myself, but I feel like I wouldn't exactly get a warm welcome. You'll be meeting with your groups on Wednesday. Feel free to contact them before then. All your fellow project members, student emails will be sent to you within the hour. The next session will be completely dedicated to outlining your presentation and what will be expected. Well, that's it for the first lecture. I hope you have a wonderful first day of the semester. Dismissed. There's a burst of movement as everyone rushes to get out of class. Ignoring the rush and movement around me, I stretch out my back as I stand up, feeling my spine click in a satisfying way. Oh man, I didn't realize how hunched over I've been all day. As I'm packing my laptop away, my eyes are drawn to the student sitting next to me. His aggressive aura is catching my attention. The fox next to me is seething as he quickly stuffs his books into his bag. He looks agitated, much more than someone should be. I know I should just leave him alone, but... Hey, is everything alright? You seem kinda upset. My ears burn instantly, embarrassment flooding all my senses. I feel everything heat up as if 1,000 eyes turn towards me, even though I know no one cares. The movements stop as he twists his head to look at me. Those cutting eyes of his staring directly into mine. But after a short moment, much to my shock, they start to soften. They look much sadder now, and I can't help but wonder if I made everything worse. To my surprise, however, he addresses me for the first time since that dismissive response from earlier. No, it's fine. I just don't like presentations. There's obviously more to it, but he doesn't seem to want to share. His voice is softer, but there's still that cool edge to it, like he's cautious of me. He's got an accent I didn't notice earlier. It's subdued, but it sounds southern. It's like he's actively trying to articulate his words to compensate, but it's still recognizable. The most standout part was his tone. The somberness in it holds a lot of weight. It's then that I notice that the charcoal black fox behind his glasses is matted, down as if he's been crying recently. A very familiar feeling tightens my throat. I want to reach out and comfort him, but there are too many walls between us. It would be hollow, too. I don't know what he's feeling. As much as I wish I could say something to make him feel better, it's best that I don't bother him any further. My eyes are lingering as the fox says, sorry. My eyes are lingering on the fox as I walk away. His attention returns to his bag, but his movements look slower now. I probably should be paying attention to what I'm doing rather than focusing on the fox. Instead, I end up snagging the strap of my laptop bag on the corner of the desk. A jolt forces my head forward as my shoulder is yanked back. It probably looks ridiculous, but it's all so sudden that I lose my balance. A shock fills me as I stumble onto the stairs, falling forward. Oh, there we go. There he goes. Embracing myself, I stick my arm in front of my head and close my eyes reflexively. Well, I hope nothing happens to the laptop. You know, if he's just falling down some stairs and that laptop's just in a bag, like, woof. Scared. There's no time to think, only quick thoughts of panic before I slam against the ground. Or at least I should have. I'm suddenly stopped in place and I hear a rather pained grunt in front of me. Seconds roll by before I finally open my eyes. Where there should be steps in front of me, I see a smooth, dark fabric instead. For some dumb reason, my brain immediately goes to the idea that the floor is made out of leather. I'm being pushed back, and it's only now I notice my arms are being held. Now, understanding what's obviously happened, I look up to see a marsupial's face. Ah, this lad again. His eyes are wide, and a concerned expression is swept across his face. Jesus fuck, are you okay? For a second, I think he has a slightest raspy voice, like he's smoking a bit. Ah, okay. But I realize I think I just pushed the air out of him as he caught me. Oh, yeah, I just wasn't looking where I was going. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I saw. I barely had time to catch you before you ate shit. It's only as I shifted to stand up straight that I realized that he's still holding my arm softly. The brushing of skin against my fur isn't one I'm used to feeling, and I can't help but feel a shiver run up my back. Excuse me. The pink skin on his hands is hard and rough, like they've been worn down. It's a stark contrast to his gentle touch. He does drop them at this point, looking relieved that I'm okay, though there doesn't look to be any ounce of embarrassment on his face. Lacking in resolve, I look around the room for anyone staring at us, but there's only glances from curious onlookers. I guess they've lost in their own world. Or just good at hiding it. Adjusting the strap on my shoulder that nearly fell off, I realized that my laptop would have still kept swinging. With a swelling feeling of panic, I quickly looked down to check, all the embarrassment from earlier vanishing as worry replaces it. But my laptop bag looks completely fine, hovering just a short distance away from the stairs. There is a small, flashy tube between a bag and the corner of the strap. Flashy? Oh, flashy, not flashy. Okay. It takes me a moment to realize that between them is my savior's tail. A guilt swells in my chest again as I frantically tug my bag away, shoving it behind me. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And despite my panicked voice and worried expression, the first response I get is a deep chuckle. Whoa, calm down, kid. He lifts his hands in front of his chest, and trying to calm me down, as if I was some kind of child throwing a tantrum. This thing has taken much worse than a little crushing from a bag. And don't stress too much. You'll lose your hair, and you don't want to lose that. To emphasize his point, he flicks his tail around in front of him. It looks slightly red where it got wedged, but otherwise it looks fine. It hurts like a bitch, but it's harmless otherwise. That guilt in my chest stirs a bit more at that, but he has a toothy smile on his face, which makes it hard to stay sad. He seems really intimidating when I first saw him, looking more like a thug than a student. But he's actually quite charming and nice. He still gives off a gruff, intimidating image, but he doesn't seem very aggressive at all. I shouldn't have judged him so quickly. Despite still being full of worry, I try to return his smile as best I can. It must look awkward and stilted, but he only nods in approval. There we go. That's what I like to see. That look suits you much better, kid. Even though he called me that earlier, it's only sinking in now. It's not exactly insulting or even infuriating, but I can't help but feel embarrassed by it. I'm not really a kid. I am at college, after all. I adjusted to the room around me, ignoring how abnormal I have to look to everyone around me. At that, he only seems to cock an eyebrow before giving a snort and turning around. He pulls his bag off his desk and carries what looks like a satchel. Giving me one more look over his shoulder, he walks away with one final remark. Well, yeah, you're a nice guy, kid. Make sure you take care of yourself. And just like that, the conversation's over. I can only watch as he walks up the stairs. I contemplate telling him goodbye, but I feel like it isn't needed. What I do notice while watching him leave does worry me, and bring back some of that guilt from earlier. He seems to hobble while he walks, clearly limping and favoring his left leg. It's not very subtle, looking as if he's completely putting all his weight on it. For a moment, I wonder if I caused that to him, okay, sir, before pushing that thought away. A little shove against him wouldn't have caused that. He didn't even fall over. If that's any indication, he wasn't lying when he said that his tail's been through some rough treatment. It's only as he disappears around the corner do I realize I never asked for his name or even said thank you. Should I try to catch up to him? He did just save my face and laptop from what would have likely been a pretty bad hit. But as my eyes follow him, I notice something else. Between the bodies of the students leaving, I can faintly make out a figure leaning against the wall across the hall. It's the otter from earlier, and he looks to be scouting out all the students. What's he trying to find? Is he searching for someone? And just as I'm about to head out, a noise behind me catches my attention. It's the sound of a falling paper and some muttering. I look back only to see the fox from earlier, looking just as bad as before. Actually, he's looking even worse now. His eyes are puffy and red, and it seems like he's about to start crying. Should I stay back and help him? But he doesn't seem to really want me around. I might just make this worse. Make things worse. I look at the door. The possum will be gone soon. I gotta make a decision now. Well, I'm easy. Leaving the hall is both liberating and relieving. I'm done with my first day of university, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. My teachers in high school made it seem so scary, but it's actually rather chill. I glance across the hall again, hoping to spot the otter I came out to check on. He's no longer there anymore. Did I miss him? Looking around, I can't immediately spot him, even though the crowd is thinning. One figure that catches my attention is the fox from before, walking past me. Figuring I should cut my losses and catch up to the vulpine, I run around the corner and nearly slam into a familiar tall figure. I'm barely able to stop myself before both from running into him and from having a heart attack. Jesus Christ, you son of a bitch! The moose student puts a hand on my shoulder as I breathe heavily. A look of concern spread across his face. It's only the second time I've seen him, but his face without a smile feels unnatural, like one always belonging there. Damn, sorry, man. Didn't mean to startle you. Quickly pulling myself together, I stand up straight again. His arms return now that he doesn't think I'm going to faint, and not even skipping a beat. I'm about to ask why he was standing there, waiting at the door, but he beats me to it. Was just waiting for you to get out. Thought I'd check on you, especially after that tumble near the end. I can feel the embarrassment swelling in me again, and my right ear flicking about nervously. Oh, you saw that. I think everyone who was still in the room saw that. The desk made a loud clang sound, and then you were falling. Good thing the other guy caught you. Jesus, really? God, that's embarrassing. I lift my paws to cover my face, rubbing them up and down. After a couple of seconds hiding, I drop them to my side with a loud groan. Nah, I don't think anyone judged you for it. Felt bad for you, probably. I know I did. I'm tempted to feel my face back to my... Tempted to push, what am I reading? I don't know, guys. I'm just reading letters that aren't even there. I'm pushing my face back into my palms. I've completely humiliated myself on the first day. A large hand grips my shoulder, the suddenness causing me to nearly jump. Wow, his hand is huge. He could wrap one around my face with little effort. And now that the initial shock has worn off, it's actually reassuring. Despite his large size, he's not intimidating at all, and his warm presence is... calming? Don't stress, man. Maybe you should take a swim with me. I'm heading to the campus gym now that I'm finished with classes. It's almost tempting, but I need to unpack my luggage, but if it is just one bag... I can't tonight, sorry. I just moved in today, and I need to unpack. I point behind me with my thumb, even though I'm pretty sure my apartment is the other way. His smile doesn't waver at all, and his eyes shine as he stands up straighter. Well, look at you. I can't keep someone away from their first day in their apartment. Gotta break that in, right? He emphasizes that last line with a wink, and I can't shake the feeling he's implying something dirty. I let out a sheepish laugh, and normally I'd be rather nervous, talking to someone like this. Something about this otter makes me feel like I can trust him. I don't know if it's the smile or the friendly attitude, but he doesn't make me feel nervous. He sticks his hand out. I'm confused for a second before realizing he's trying to give me a handshake. Name's Oscar. I hope I can see you around. You seem like you'd be a fun guy. Taking his hand tentatively, I'm unable to stop myself from snorting at that. Fun isn't usually the word people describe me with. Depressing is more what people call me. What? Nah. You got potential there. Sure, you're a bit quiet, but those normally end up being the most fun. His handshake is full of energy. I feel like my arm is getting a workout. The biggest thing that catches my attention, though, is his arms have a fair bit of muscle. Just how much does this guy swim? Noticing I've been staring at his arms instead of returning his introduction, a nervous chuckle escapes my throat before I'm able to push the words out. I hope I don't disappoint you. My name's Wallace. He gives me a smile, which reminds me of the Cheshire Cat. Well, Wally, I'm excited to meet you. Hope we can work well together. A prickling feeling wells in the back of my neck as my fur rises. I pull my hand away as a bit too hastily, and he gives me a questioning look. Just Wallace is fine. There's a bit of ice that unintentionally seeps into my tone, but it doesn't look like Oscar took any offense. Sorry. Just Wallace it is. I hope you'll take me up on my swimming offer. I'll consider it. I haven't gone swimming in, I don't know, years, maybe? He saunters around to my side, tapping the back of his tail as he begins walking. Looks like he's heading to the main entrance for the building, and no reason to not follow along with him. We definitely gotta get on that then, man. So, I'll see you on Wednesday. Look out for me so we can all sit together. Sit together? He gives me a sidelong glance, checking to see if I'm joking. We're in the same group, unless there's another Wallace. I'm with a Wallace, Stebbins? Stewart. I almost jump as he gives a loud clap in response to my correction. Yeah, that one! My bad, man. He's practically skipping next to me, though it's more like a dance. His whole body just seems to flow elegantly as he moves. If he's this graceful on land, I want to see what he looks like in the water. Catching my eyes, he gives another playful wink before letting out a snort, which turns into a snicker. He's so sincere with everything he does, it's impossible to not find him charming. All of a sudden, he stops, dance moving next to me. It's so jarring, I almost trip trying to stop as well. Well, I'll catch you on Wednesday, my man. Do you want my number in case we need to meet up for a project? Oh, sure, I guess, I don't really ever get texts from anyone that isn't my parents. He pulls out his smartphone, to hand to me, his other hand gesturing as if he's waving something away. Bah, you look like a really nice guy. You deserve more friends. So you just earned a +1 new friend today. A warm fuzzy feeling fills my chest as I type my number into his phone. I haven't had a proper friend since middle school. And you'll have another 3 more after Wednesday. That one earns me a soft chuckle as I hand his phone back to him, a contact fully added. I'm not sure about that one. Pretty sure the fox I was sitting next to is in our group, and he doesn't seem like the type who wants to make friends. The way his eyes had cut through me like a knife isn't making me too keen on seeing him again either. Then again, it looks like it had been a rough day. Maybe that was just a one-off thing. Oscar looks unperturbed, as if that wasn't going to stop him. Anyone can be a friend if you try hard enough. Some are just a bit slower to warm than others. My phone rings with a single text from the otter. Okay. Normally, these kind of messages are awkward or creepy, joking at best, but from Oscar, it's cute and very much the same kind of flirty charisma he's radiating. Tapping away to add him to my contact list, I have to ignore the smile growing wider on my face, and the way my heartbeat's speeding up with excitement. I'm not sure I'm as optimistic as you, but I hope we can all get along. We will, yeah. One more thing. The moose to the lead quickly presses up against me, his body heat covering me like a wave. He's like a little furnace. Or a big furnace. Before I can do anything, an arm wraps around me and he pulls me tighter against the otter's chest. His scent floods my senses as my face is pressed directly into his shirt. I didn't notice it before, but he has a very distinct smell. I was expecting some kind of ocean smell, but it's more chemical than that. Chlorine? Hey, come on, look up! The words, yeah, the words? That is the words, yes. Jogs me out of my stupor. But then I follow his instruction. I notice he's holding his phone up to take a photo of us. Is he really taking a selfie with me? My eyes flick up to Oscar's face for a moment, and I can see his natural perfect smile. With no effort, he's overwhelmingly captivating. Never having been a very photogenic person, I give as genuine as a smile as I can, before hearing his phone make the distinct digital clicking sound. Before I can get adjusted to the warm feeling against me, he pulls away. His hand slowly slips out from around my shoulder in a fluid and gentle motion. The sensation gives me a little shiver. Realizing it's probably a message from my new friend, I open it. It's the photo we just took. Before I can even register why he sent it, or even ask for that matter, he's shoving his phone into my face. I can't see what he's trying to show me and how he's moving his phone back and forth. What is it? Your contact! I changed it to the photo we just took. He points to the top of the screen with his claw. A little picture shows me giving a surprisingly nice-looking smile. That's a keeper. Make sure you change yours too, man. Almost like that was all he wanted to do, the otter starts to jog in place with the occasional step to the left of me. I'll catch you later, man. I gotta get to the gym now so I can get home before dark. See ya. He doesn't even give me a chance to respond before he's gone. He's off, jogging lightly away towards where I assume the gym is. Admittedly, I'm a little confused as to what exactly just happened, but there's one thing I know. I made a friend today. It's been one day and my fresh start is already paying off. See ya, Oscar. At a much slower waddle from my newfound friend's jog, I make my way back down the streets towards my apartment. I'm dreading the amount of stuff I'm going to have to put away. Alright, I'll end the part here, everyone, so I'll see you around.